Here is Harry Belafonte.
Dale, Dale, daylight come and we want go home.
One day, Paul Robeson came to see me and simply said, "Get them to sing your song, and they'll want to know who you are."
Even in that grainy black and white early TV, his personality came out.
I say, let us put man and a woman together to find out which one is smarter.
When Harry Belafonte went on the show with Petula Clark, they touched.
People were like, oh my God.
Whatever you're capable of doing as artists to help propagandize the civil rights revolution.
Out of that came the true artistry of Harry Belafonte.
There's a lot of people out here who are really pissed off.
Harry gave us a piece of his fire. It gave us all strength.
We are angry, we're upset.
Harry motivated Martin because here's a man who didn't have to get involved and who did.
We look around for some comfort and we don't find any.
I remember once when you said, from the time I get up and the time I go to sleep, I seek out the injustices done to humankind.
What do we want? Peace! What do you want?
He was always like that. He was always, let's do something.
Harry did this over and over and over and over again.
He took all our struggles and made them his own.
We can't be shut up no more.
Artists are the gatekeepers of truth. We are civilization's radical voice. I try to envision playing out the rest of my life almost exclusively devoted to reflection. But there's just too much in the world to be done.
It was Harry Belafonte's signature hit in a long career and life defined by much more than music. Belafonte rose to fame with the 1956 Banana Boat Song, earning him the nickname King of Calypso. Born in Harlem to Caribbean parents, he grew up in poverty during the Depression, but went on to win Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony Awards.
Ever since the world began, woman was always fooling man.
Singing everything from calypso to spirituals to protest songs. His third album, Calypso, was the first officially certified album by a solo performer to sell more than 1 million copies.
Don't be like that, baby.
Belafonte broke barriers on the stage and screen as well, one of few black leading men in the 1950s and unafraid of tackling taboo themes like race. Even in a racially segregated America, the handsome, husky-voiced Belafonte became a sex symbol with fans nationwide. But he grew tired of acting, eventually turning down jobs he described as racially neutered. By the 1960s, he was publicly more politically active. In 2011, he spoke about that journey with Gwen Ifill.
My activism really started the day of my birth. Born from immigrant parents in New York City, my mother was overwhelmed by America. She came here with hopes and ambitions that were never fulfilled.
Belafonte recalled the spirit of 1930s America.
At that time, there was a lot of talk about white supremacy and Hitler and democracy, and America was mobilizing for this great campaign, and the whole world was caught up in it. And what attracted me to the arts was the fact that I saw theater as a social force, as a political force. I kind of felt that art was a powerful tool, and that's what I should be doing with mine.
Belafonte lent his voice to the black-led civil rights movement, marching alongside his friend Martin Luther King Jr. He reflected on the first moment he met Dr. King in this 2018 interview with NewsHour's Charlene Hunter-Gault.
I listened to him, and I was just absolutely struck with the way in which he presented his case to the black religious community, condemning them for being not more engaged in the social destiny of black people.
As civil rights protests unfolded in 1968, Belafonte guest hosted The Tonight Show for a week.
I'll tell you something, Senator.
The first black man ever to host a late-night show. His guests included Dr. King and Bobby Kennedy. His activism over decades knew no bounds.
Of the fight for freedom.
Campaigning to end apartheid in South Africa, mobilizing support to end HIV/AIDS, and serving as a goodwill ambassador for UNICEF. In 1985, he helped to gather global superstars to record We Are the World. The song raised $64 million for famine relief in Ethiopia. Belafonte also faced criticism for meeting with leftist leaders like Fidel Castro of Cuba and Hugo Chavez of Venezuela. But he never stopped speaking out against racism in America.
The struggle is still going on. The cruelty of the enemy is as great as ever.
And he criticized Democrats and Republicans along the way. In 2006, calling then-President George W. Bush the greatest terrorist in the world for invading Iraq. Belafonte carried his mission to promote peace well into his later years, reflecting on his work and life in 2011.
Eleanor Roosevelt just walked into my life, and she turned it around. Dr. King called me on the phone one day. Malcolm X knocked at the door one day. Nelson Mandela, he and I had an exchange of letters while he was in prison. And just these things kept emerging, and each time I saw opportunity to become involved in what their struggle and our struggle was about, and felt I'd make as big a difference as I could.
Belafonte's publicist said he died of congestive heart failure today at his home in New York. He was 96 years old.